Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IPL 5 League of Legends. It is CLG.NA versus Moscow 5. Joining me, of course, is Joshua Leisman.
There it is.
There it
That's
is.
the name.
And you heard the ping, you heard the name straight away. It's the name you have. I am, of course, D-Man, and we are going in towards the picks and bans. CLG this time on the blue side. They are 1-1 all square. Are we going to see similar bans? They allowed Malco through. It seemed to work out for them this time, Moscow 5. They have the full-on avalanche piling through CLG.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that could happen this game is CLG might take Rengar away from them because the Diana has been banned, and they didn't get to first pick at this time, but whoop! Lee Sin away from them. They're completely fine with Rengar, and I'd expect Darian to pick this up right away. Yep, straight on there, Rengar and Sona. So Moscow 5 going to go with picks they had in the last game. But Lee Sin, this is the first time we've seen him in a game. We talked about how good Chauster was on him. Can he compare? How will it work out for them? So with them first picking that, it's curious what M5 is going to do with it. They're messing around with picks. Maybe they wouldn't want to do Rengar because they're worried about the stealth detection of Lee Sin, but I feel like Rengar is the right choice for them at this point. Talking about Lee Sin a bit more, though, it's just he was actually the most banned champion in this tournament, and I think it's just because of his versatility and how many players have mastered him. So we have Froggen on Lee Sin. Obviously, a lot of times Diamond Prox gets it done as well, but this time they're going to be going against Chauster's Lee Sin, and we know how versatile that can be. Just crazy good ganks, crazy good stealth reveal, and it's why he's one of the most banned champions in the tourney. So we're waiting for CLG to come in. You can see Rengar and Sona have been locked in. Ghostly Pepper landing those crescendos, flash crescendos near the end as well. And of course we saw Darian how strong he was in the lane. Of course he was in a 2v1 at the start and he was weak for a little while. But Moscow 5, they just turned those advantages, and that one dragon fight definitely snowballed it quickly for CLG. So what will CLG pick up? Will it be the AD carry? What will Doublelift pick up? I think the big thing for CLG is to make sure they bring damage this time, because the first game they got away with it by getting Doublelift fed early. They were not that fortunate second game, and it just backfired horribly. Back to basics on Ezreal if they go with this here. Worked for them in the first game. Lulu, Ezreal, very strong for them. They can really use that in teamfights. I know that Loco Doco's best support has got to be Lulu. They keep trying to put him on Nunu, and it keeps not working out all that well. Like those picks coming up from CLG here. If you have just joined us, you've missed a heck of a day's action, by the way. It is all square on the main stage at the moment. Taipei Assassin, CLG, EU. So both CLGs losing the second game. Win together, lose together, I saw someone say on Twitter. So if CLG.NA wins this game, don't even bother watching the other one, because you know EU is going to take them out. You know what the score will be. So Moscow 5 with their next two picks. You can see the AD and support being picked up. I guess the AD will come out. Will it be Corki again here? Worked out very well for Genja last time around, and you just mentioned actually how he leveled the skills differently. It was really odd to see on Corki. I saw it sometime in the game, didn't have a window to talk about it, but his Valkyrie was maxed before he put a single point into Gatling gun. So he maxed his Q first on Corki, but then maxed W, mainly for the cooldown reduction, because the damage does scale in that ability, but you're definitely not jumping over people's heads to get the burn damage. It was interesting choice against Maokai, and with the way they're doing farm-offs, it kind of made sense. It was just really surprising to see. Because it made me fearful of Maokai the way he worked out, because obviously he got a lot of ganks in the first one, didn't really get anything in the second game. We do see a Mumu coming back out again for Moscow 5 here. The synergy of the Curse of the Sad Mommy and the Crescendo, very, very strong. And of course, Genja can put out a little bit of AE as well himself. What will the final picks be for CLG? Will we see another Cho'Gath from Hotshot? And I'm actually looking at Moscow 5's picks before we see Cho'Gath on CLG side. That's the same four they had in the first game, if I'm not mistaken. What was their mid lane in the first game as that as well? It was... blanked. Whoops. I blanked. I blanked as well. It was Katarina. Yeah. And looking at CLG's lineup, the difference is there's no Maokai. The Orianna against Karthus would not be the best matchup for Karthus, but maybe they just want to pile on damage, and there it is, looking for the Amumu ult on top of the Wall of Pain, and then just going to have Alex Siege walking on top of it. Dangerous composition for Moscow 5 here. They can get very attacked in that comp. But CLG with the Chauster, more damage, way more damage in the CLG comp than we've seen in the past. And an interesting conversation with Ocelot while in Singapore, talking about Karthus. And he says no, he actually falls away late game. He's not a hyper carry. Interesting. Yeah. So that is contrary to almost everyone's experience with Karthus. I think what Ocelot would mean late game versus hyper carry is Karthus is crazy probably up until like the 40 or 50 minute mark, because really when he gets the 400 farm or something ahead of anyone else, and he's got the Death Cap, the Void Staff, and all those things, his Requiem was taking half of people's health. But then once they get the magic resist, if they fight in the right place, I could see that argument, but really I'd like to hear his list of AP mids that hyper carry better than Karthus.
You had about the same response that me and Xenon had. We were like, really?
Elaborate, please.
Because we've been saying for about the last year that really this is the hyper carry. So team comps, how are we seeing it? Obviously, if M5 manage to land their ultimates in the right order, they can decimate CLG. But how are CLG looking to take this one?
If CLG wants to take this one, it's really going to be about Doublelift. So much of them used to be just about Doublelift and Chowster carrying when Chowster was on the support, but now it's really about Doublelift and Loco Doco carrying, and then Chowster helping Big Fat out of the jungle. I think it's going to be more of the same if CLG wants this to work. They need to gank bottom lane, get that going for him. They need to gank mid lane, and they need to leave Hotshot on an island up there, and he needs to not die that much.
Leave him on an island. It's something we talked about with. It was I believe it was one of our tips during the Season 2 finals. You got to leave CLG on an island. Maybe they left themselves up there a little too long, but they have performed very well. We've just looked at the stats for these two teams, actually. They're interesting reading.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because we have the double elimination tournament. We had the group stage. Every best of 3 CLG's played since the group stage has been a 2-1 in one direction or the other. So they're actually 6-5 whole tournament coming up to this. Moscow 5 coming into the losers bracket and playing a few more games is 6-6. So it's like the best competition in the world. These games really go either way. Both teams almost 50-50, showing it in this matchup, dead even in these games. And the next game's going to knock one out, let the other one move on.
And it shows how balanced and tight the teams are right now. And it's really only Fnatic. In fact, WWE, have they dropped a single game? I don't think they have.
No, they're undefeated. Fnatic's the only team to... Fnatic's dropped one game, but WE's just been unreal this turn.
They have been unreal. So we are into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get things underway without further ado. You don't want to look at our ugly mugs. You want to see the game in action. So as the blue team, it is going to be CLG North America. Can the changed lineup, the shift around, Voyboy going out to Curse, Loco Doco coming in, Chowster going into the jungle, Hotshot going towards that top lane. Is it going to work out for them? Rupture coming in. Wow! Darian, by look or by crook, he just missed that Rupture. I'm not even sure how that even happened.
Even if that Rupture would have landed, it really would not have resulted in much. And we got to talk about CLG's lineup again. It's just so close recently. I mean, MLG Dallas was their first tournament with their new lineup. Loco Doco showed up to North America less than a month ago. So many roster swaps. Chowster's never jungled before. It'd been a while since Hotshot had been in the top lane. Loco Doco had never played support. They moved so much around, and for it to turn around kind of so quickly, this is the second big LAN event in a row where they've been the top last standing North American team. If they could actually take out Moscow 5 with such a recently replaced roster, it would be really, really impressive.
So, doesn't look like any level 1 shenanigans are going to happen. We are seeing a Chowster going for his own wraiths this time around. We are seeing Genja and Gosu Pepper lingering around. They're going to pick up the Wolves this time. And we are seeing a heck of a lot of pings on Alex. Wow, Alex actually getting...
He wants to take the big wraith.
Very deep. He really wanted to take that big wraith. He's just nudging himself forward, arching
He's going to go for it.
Actually, Chowster, Hotshot coming, GG coming around on towards Diamond Prox. Maybe going to try and interrupt it. Does pick it up though, and Alex was forced to respond. He comes back around on towards Hotshot. GG lands a lay waste, lands a little basic attack there. Auto attack on towards him, dodges out the Rupture. Didn't get a chance to leash out there, the red buff. Darian did come though to help, and he'll be backing away. Diamond Prox chomping through a health pot. We saw the Wolves go down, Gosu Pepper and Genja picking that up. We saw the bottom lane duo of Loco Doco and Doublelift also returning. So Jap, take us through the lanes, beginning on the duo lane at the bottom.
So Doublelift and Loco going to look pretty strong in this matchup. I'd have to say, though, Gosu Pepper, if he gets the right poke down, probably going to have an edge in poke, but Doublelift getting the faster level 2. Double Golems give a little bit more experience than the Wolves. This lane's really going to be all about gank support. That's what swung it in the first game. This is what's going to swing it here. And if they don't get gank support, there's a slight edge to M5, but I expect Chowster to be down there early and often.
Blue buff being picked up very quickly by Chowster. He actually bypassed the Wolves and the Wraiths. In fact, he picked up the Wraiths at the start, bypassed the Wolves because he wants to go for that level 1 gank on towards Darian here in the tri-bush. Is this going to work at this level? He is only level 1.
This could catch him right off guard if he ends up going for it, because Chowster hasn't looked up top in Darian. I'm sure Darian's very comfortable now after almost 2 hours of gameplay without getting ganked. Meanwhile, Diamond Prox has snuck into the jungle completely just unseen. There's a better word for that, I know there is, but he's going to go in for gank bottom.
There it is, he's going to get the caught on towards Loco Doco. The exhaust goes down, it should be enough for Genja to finish off. The heal coming out, oh my god, he's escaped! He's escaped with 6 hit points, and Genja didn't quite get the last hit on it. Would you believe it?
I actually feel like that was a guaranteed kill if Diamondprox kept attacking, but he was trying to feed that kill to Genja, and it just didn't work out. Now Chowster coming around mid lane.
Hotshot GG also down in the bottom lane here, trying to cover off as much as they can. They realized that as soon as they spotted Diamondprox down there, they came down. They tried to take everything out of that jungle. They'd pushed up the turret so heavily on towards Darien. They thought about going for the gank, then he just backed away, but they tried to farm out everything in there. And again, we're seeing Chowster just trying to invade on anything.
He's really just trying to punish the early game of Diamondprox. You know when Amumu pulls off an early gank, really just trying to counter jungle him hard. If you can stop his goal per 10 items coming out fast, you really put a dent into late game Amumu. Chowster flying around as much as possible. With his gank not working either, he's just doing his best to make sure Diamondprox comes back to an empty jungle.
So, we talked about the duo lanes. Let's talk about the mid lanes that are both about to back off and bite. Or actually, Alex wanted to pick up the race, but his jungler's just come back. He's like, really? Come on, I'm right here. Stop taking my farm. Yeah, 29-26 CS. You talked about the fact that Orianna is kind of a bit of a strong pick against Karthus.
It's one of those things that the zone control of the ball is very, very potent against Karthus, who generally used to walk into fights to make them work, or get walked into. It's just having that entity that is so displaced from yourself really helps against that kind of champion. So Big Fat OP for now is going to be a bit of a farm off, but come team fights, he's going to be able to control the zones.
We've seen Loco Doco warding out the bush there. Actually didn't go for the try bush though. Just went in towards there, and that's been pinged out straight away, so Diamondprox is aware of the situation on that one. Hotshot GG does manage to land the Rupture on Darien, but is slowly but surely pushing it on. Oh, wow, Diamondprox is going to come in. They want to actually push the pace on this turret. They're going to shove it.
And Chowster actually waiting in the wings. They might go for something here. There's the Q that doesn't go in.
That was at max range. Didn't quite manage to plink in, but instead Darien is going to continue, really just trying to put the pressure on Hotshot so he can't get any farm there.
This is really the third game in a row they've played this matchup. They got to be getting very comfortable with each other. Hotshot been the victim of many, many tower dives, and a different model coming out from CLG this game. Chowster abandoning top lane all the time in the first two, coming around for yet another gank on Darien. Let's see if they can connect.
Well, he could actually leap towards him. He has got the silence down on him, and that's going to be enough to slow him down. You can see it hasn't quite got the damage. The Rupture is going to land. It's going to take Darien low enough that Alex, sorry, not Alex, is going to respond. Diamond is going to respond. The ping's going down. They're saying, yeah, Alex is here, but Alex hasn't hit 6 yet. So if he does try to counter with something, we are seeing Diamond maybe thinking about coming around, actually showing himself the ward. They could go for this one. They may think of it. There's the 6, and they're going to go towards Hotshot GG. He's going to get taken low and low. It's first blood. Darien picks it up. What a great combo.
They really just were against the clock there. You knew Moscow 5 was communicating with Alex. It's when are you going to hit 6? When are you going to hit 6? When are you going to hit 6? And he finally got it right immediately, even though they brute forced it through the ward, completely turned that kill. And again, first blood to Darien. It's going to be trouble for Hotshot. Even with the help from Chowster, that's a bit of a disaster.
Disaster. Will Robinson is on looming in there, and Alex actually ahead in CS at the moment. Big Fat LP just gone back to buy, picked himself up the Chalice. Standard builds almost for Oriannas these days, ever since Season 2, ever since the Asians showed us the way.
The way of the Athenes and Holy Grail.
The way of the Athenes. It just adds everything. Genja being a little bit more aggressive in this bottom lane than you ordinarily would see. Maybe this is something that they've changed. You know, they went to play, they practiced heavily with Team WE, which honestly seems to have helped WE a lot more than Moscow 5 at this stage. But they've practiced heavily. Maybe it's made Genja that little bit more aggressive playing against Wei Zhao so much.
And they've really had to talk a lot about how their team was going. They were very upset about their loss to Kersey Yu at Tails of the Lane, and they said they practiced so much coming in, so they were very... There were a couple things they adjusted. Obviously, the picks from Diamondprox getting champion diversity, and the aggression definitely seems to be different from Genja. Usually that used to be Gosu who was up there trying to do that, and Genja will be back farming. They've completely swapped their orientation here in the bottom lane, and it's working so far early here, 61-49 there.
Seems to be working out well for them. Mid lane, of course, we are seeing 73-60. Alex Hitch out farming, so top lane farming, bottom lane farming, mid lane farming. This is good signs for Moscow 5 in early game.
And normally CLG is happy with the farming game, but not when they're losing it, because the first blood got given up for Hotshot. There's the Giant's Belt rush by Darien. He's going to have trouble in that lane. They could pretty much dive him anytime Alex Hitch's ultimate is up. Maybe CLG is going to try to do something, or they're just going to keep doing status quo, but If they do that, kind of like we saw in Game 2, it might be a bit of an issue. Chowster trying to make something happen here bottom.
Trying to come in there, does try to go for it, but well, Genja immediately Valkyrie away. Let's have a look straight away. He's actually leveled it twice again, doubling it again, leveling Phosphorus Bomb and Valkyrie. Not even level straight away. Amumu comes around the side there, ulti kicked away by Chowster. Crescendo comes off. That's going to be Lulu going down. Loco Doko dropped by Gosu Pepper with the Crescendo. I think he may have followed it with the power cord as well. No power cord is available, and he just manages to follow it up. We are seeing Diamond Prox heading straight towards the mid.
Gosu just ripped through Loco Doko there, getting 6 before him and just pouncing on him with a flash crescendo. There was no way Loco could keep himself alive with that Lulu ultimate. Top lane hurting, bottom lane hurting. Maybe they'll take their attention towards mid because Darien has his ultimate. He's looking to make Big Fat LP pay.
He's heading in towards the river here. Requiem will be available in a moment for Alex as well on Karthus. Karthus ultimate, will they maybe force Dragon? No, because Rengar is heading back north. Darien will resume his farming session against Hotshot GG. Has to keep that CS difference. It is a 10 CS advantage at the moment. Will we see yet more GP10 items coming out for Hotshot GG? It looks like we will.
It's got to be. He went a little bit more defensive this time with that early cloth armor, but the kills have kept coming down. Here's Diamond. Hotshot barely able to get away. This lane just feels somewhat worse for Hotshot than in the past because he's losing it just the same as he did in Game 1 and 2. But the rest of his team is not getting the help from Chowster. Very, very bad news. See if Big Fat LP can turn anything against him because top lane and bottom lane are both moving against CLG.
The farm in from Alex Hitch, he seems to be picking up the race of both sides. He's going to come back around again, maybe try and force it. You can see that Big Fat LP desperately trying to keep up here, picking up the race of his own and keeping on towards that farm. But every time he goes away to get those revs, to counter it, he actually gives Alex the 6th farm.
And North America's last hope struggling a bit here. Chowster a level ahead of Diamond. I think he got spotted. No, they didn't see him around that. Here comes.
He does come around there, goes straight in towards it. Diamond Prox might get caught out. This could be the first kill Kirsten Sam Malma used. He's not going to be able to get away. Oh, he could have punished just a big FLP. It would have been the death of him regardless. And the first kill for CLG.NA.
That was actually really fortunate for them that Big Fat LP came over to contribute to that. Not only did he get the kill, which will maybe give him an edge over Alex in this mid lane, they really need it. It also gave him a red buff. And Orianna is a great harasser with her auto attacks there. So probably better use of the red buff any one of the 3 could have is on Big Fat LP right here.
So let's have a look across the board. With the gold, where are those advantages? We can see it's about 1.3k gold advantage here. This time the rates are going to be picked up by Alex once again. Top lane, we can see slight advantage, 600 gold in favor of Darien. We could feel that one. But, oh, hello, that's down the bottom lane. Going to go down. There's Loco Doke. He's going to get taken down by Alex Hitch, and that's really the freedom that you get with Karthus. You know, just as the advantage went to Big Fat LP getting that kill, have a free kill.
And how is Loco Doko still not level 6? They're just continually pushing him out of that lane. I thought, oh, there's a Karthus that's going to pop his wild growth and be okay. No. Last time we died, it was because he was 6 and Gosu beat him there. All the way back to lane, immediately M5 put the aggression right back down on him, and this is really hurting Doublelift, never having his support alive there. Chowster coming down to help. Let's see if they can turn something.
Well, Genja having to flash out, multiple flashes. He might get caught out. Is it going to be enough to exhaust on towards Chowster? He's going to continue diving on towards the turret. I don't think they've got enough to dive this one. Crescendo is not available because they have just turned it around. Oh, the damage back on towards Chowster there from the tower and combined defeat. Phosphorus Bomb was very strong. I don't think they were quite ready for that burst. I certainly wasn't.
He just flew out of the turret. And look at top here, Darien just 1v1ing Hotshot. Gonna try to finish off the turret. Hotshot having to get the hell out of there. And that's just a 1v1 turret kill, not something CLG can have happening.
And let's have a look at the turret. Untouched. Absolute domination from Darien in the lane. And you know, this is something the Moscow 5 talk about. The fact that, you know, they actually accept the fact that Darien generally is going to feed the lane and then maybe come back stronger in lane. If he's not feeding the lane, that's danger for CLG.
Generally, it means Moscow 5's having a pretty good time in these games, and you can see it in kind of the confidence of their play right now. All the lanes playing exactly how you want to with Karthus. They're staying aggressive, they're keeping the lanes pressured so Karthus can happily just farm away, press his ultimate, and get kills and assists. It's going to continually help Alex Hitch gets more and more farmed. He doesn't have to worry about dealing with Big Fat LP. He just has to take rates, pop his R, and here we see Darien really pressuring Hotshot. Chowster going to try to turn something around, but this is going to be tough.
Well, he's keeping him busy here, Darien. He could just pop his ultimate, of course. There's the silence gone out, so he could just pop his ultimate and run away. Goes into the bush, tries... Actually, no, I tell a lie, because Chowster will see him, won't he? So that ultimate will be no use. Kicks him into the wall. Darien continues to try and escape this one. Does pop the ultimate, tries to juke it. Chowster, though, There you go. Just tried to get vision of him, but it's too late.
Both Lee Sin's Q and as he would have given vision to Darien, but Darien actually waited to just the right moment to pop his ultimate after he'd been slowed by Chowster Z. Then he was able to make the escape. So really expertly played there, popping it at the right time. Here comes Diamond, but a counter gank by Chowster potentially.
Coming in towards, there's the shockwave goes out. Curse of the Sad Mummy immediately used there to counter it. Big Fat LP taken low, but not low enough, and Alex Ich just defends off offensively from Diamond Prox. Back in towards the top lane. Darien has returned. I don't think he even went back, actually.
Nope.
He just got that Giant's belt and the Ninja Tap, and he's quite happy to just carry on playing.
And this is one of those tricky games for Chowster. He wants to help a lane that might not be able to be helped. Darien, so difficult to gank. He's also trying to get mid a little bit. All of his ganks have kind of fallen by the wayside, not converted, and when that happens on Lee Sin, you end up falling woefully far behind, just having that Wriggles Lantern, giving the blue buff to Orianna, and because of all that, pressure from Moscow 5, maybe they're going to be able to take this dragon. No ward coverage, they're pinging it, but everyone's back in base. Free dragon from Moscow 5.
Totally uncontested. He hasn't got True Shot Barrage available either, he just used it to back away. Very good timing from Moscow 5 there, and the advantages continue to grow more and more. 3.5k gold advantage currently. Moscow 5 slowly but surely grinding out all of the advantages. Well, let's have a look what Darien's sitting on actually. 2,500 gold.
Yikes.
Once he goes back, he can buy something big. He's already got the Giant's Pulse and the Darien's. What's he going to likely build here? He's been building pretty aggressive in the last few games.
He might just rush a Warmogs, to be honest, though. He's got the Giant's Belt already. He could do Brutalizer and a Kindle Gem. Maybe cooldown reduction is amazing on him, but getting a Warmogs this early would just allow him to stack it up so much faster. Does go with the Kindle Gem and upgrades to Ninja Tabi Boots and a Brutalizer. So really just trying to get his same build from last game, just a different order of operations to get there. He's going to look to really punish Hotshot now that he's finished off those items.
And Hotshot, in the meanwhile, has got those 2 GP10 items and the Negatrons. So being a little bit cautious, obviously the Karthus ultimate, the Requiem, is back available, and that's what they're really defensive again. Big Fat LP looking to maybe come across there. Look how close, look how aggressive Alex is just getting there, and Big Fat LP up close and personal. The shockwave comes out, but Darien is back there, forces him back away. Alex taken down very low. He could just go back and press his R key any second now. There it is, and that's going to be Big Fat LP going down. Can't get anything from it. Alex picks up another free kill.
And Alex got taken to a sliver during that fight. Even now with the health regen and health pots checking, he's only up to 200. That means he was below 50 health since that thing ran his full course. Diamond coming in up the back to maybe stop Hotshot from pushing. And that's just the pressure that Darien applied mid, allowed him to come bottom and create that kill. It's just all filtering around here. Bottom lane has pressure, top lane has pressure, and it's allowing Alex to do well mid.
Pinging on towards Ghostly Pepper, like, no, he's not on his own. Denga baited into this one. We could see a Flash Crescendo possibly coming out. There it is! Flash Crescendo. Genja had to avoid the damage of the True Shot Barrage, though, so it didn't quite pay off. Double Lift taken down very low, but that's the Lulu Ultimate also used, so ultimates across the board in this bottom lane. Of course, Alex doesn't have Requiem available, just used it. Will be back up shortly, though. Double Lift has kept the pressure on. Ghostly Pepper trying to get up there, trying to use them Qs on towards Double Lift. No, it went to the minions. Whoops.
And Double Lift almost having to 1v2 in this lane. There's a 2-level advantage between the supports. They stuck around so long. Maybe they're baiting Chowster to come around the back. He wants to hop in here. He's coming in through the ward. Rengar coming for a potential counter gank, but it might not make it in time.
And it's Genja that's going to try and dodge out the damage. There he goes, tried to get the ulti king in, but it wasn't enough.
Wow.
And Genja just turns it around, and now Darien ultiing in there, jumps on, pounces, Loco Doko next target. Double Lift already down, Loco Doko's going to go down. He gives that one off to Genja, and that is 2 kills, and now surely a turret will follow.
And in the pick and ban phase, they opted to take Chowster's Lee Sin instead of taking away Darien's Rengar, and that may have been a fatal mistake because Darien is ripping them a new one in this game. Going to be able to take this turret, probably their second of the game. Genja actually going back. Darien's comfortable just taking it by himself. Every lane has been impacted by Rengar, which is crazy considering we're only 17 minutes into the game.
Absolutely running riot on that top lane. Hotshot GG has managed to try and catch up the farming. He's letting the minions farm out the waves, trying to clear out as much as he can, trying to regain the game back in towards the middle low, though. You can see Alex is being caught out a little bit, having to use the exhaust. Alex might be in trouble here. Diamond Prox is going to come in. It's not going to be enough. Chowster still just dodges out the wall to that Q. Has he used Curse of the Sad Mummy? Has he got enough damage? Alex is still not got Requiem available. Remember, it will be up and available in a couple of seconds. Will it be enough to take Chowster down? I don't think he will. 269 health, 290 it is! Alex gets the kill, and that's Chowster down with an Oracle burned. And well, Genja was coming in to maybe try and clear up if it didn't work out, but Moscow 5 again building on their advantages.
It just went from bad to worse for Chowster because he'd gotten that Oracles to try to take control back of the game before he'd even picked up a Heart of Gold, and losing it that immediately really, really hurts. Now, Crescendo on a hotshot, they're just going for it.
They're going for it. That's going to be the Rupture landing. Genja taking a couple of tower hits, but he's actually still sitting in the tower hits. They're not going to have enough damage here. Darien is going to follow through, but Genja just took a few too many hits. They have a siege minion in there. There's another conga line of minions coming in as well. They're going to finish off the turret. That's the second turret down, third turret down now for Moscow 5, 3-0, 3-1, sorry, because the bottom turret has just gone to double lift, but they're going to continue pushing. And I'll tell you what, Genja wants more kills here. This is the most aggressive Genja I've ever seen in a tournament.
It's really a slightly new Moscow 5 after this one. They lost the first game, looked a little bit disoriented, but once they have those leads, they just smell it, and they are so good at just capitalizing on every small thing. Really Darien this game, bit of an MVP for them. He was probably much maligned after... I mean, even during the video that was spotlight on Darien, no one on M5 had too many great things to say about him. They just didn't want him to feed that well. But holy crap, he is doing so much on Rengar right now. Hotshot getting tooled here. Everyone on CLG getting sucked towards that lane and is just making the rest of the map win.
And they have got a ward in. They're going to try and see if they can smite away this blue buff. It's not going to be quick enough, though. They had to be very quick to smash that down. And now they've pinged actually on towards Moscow 5's one. I'm not sure whether CLG quite in the position to do that one. Requiem will be available very shortly, so as soon as that comes available, 30 seconds, look for Moscow 5 maybe trying to take another advantage. And
just looking at these item breakpoints, Warmog's already completed onto Darien. That Rabadon's death cap's going to be soon for Alex Ich to go on top of that Rod of Ages, picking up his own blue buff. All the turrets that they really need to get down are down already. The control of the map is being utilized, and Hotshot, why have you not taken that top turret with how much Rengar has been going around? He's trying to get it now. He was farming in between it just to try to catch up, but really, that turret has to go down early with how much pressure Darien is putting on the rest of the map with Rengar being gone.
It's red buff they're heading towards. There's the ultimate from Darien, but he's going to get spotted out. Actually, was going towards it. Jumps towards Chowster just to try and keep him away, try and keep the pressure on. Darien is a monster right now. He's got the wall marks. He's got the brutalizer. He's got the ninja tab in the Kindle gem. Now they're going towards the dragon. That's actually going to be farmed out by Alex solo in the mid there. Now Requiem back available. There's the red buff stalling away. Moscow 5 just taking every single advantage they can. Hotshot GG trying to push that top turret.
And this is how confident Moscow 5 is right now. They're invading the jungle where their AP carry is doing dragon. No respect for the rest of CLG right now. They are running amok, and if Diamond Prox can solo hold with an Oracles against Hotshot, that is not a good thing. He's having to fall back now because Darien is on the hunt, and they might just run him down here.
He is too late. Rupture's going to come in. Oh, the bandage just pulls him in from up on high. Curse of the Sad Mummy goes down. There's a lot of damage got to go on towards Hotshot GG. He's built himself as farmy as he can. The Warden's mail. Actually, that's a kill. Shockwave comes in. They turn it around towards Diamond Prox. Then that's not going enough. They could take down Darien as well. Big Fat LP trying to turn it around. Goes back towards him. Goes aggressive. A double kill for Big Fat LP. The Ignite is going to burn, but it is not enough. And well, a couple of advantages quickly turned around there. Alex actually got picked off. Well, we missed it by Doublelift. Doublelift did go down. It was a 1-for-1.
That was really good for CLG. We were just talking about how it was hopeless for them, and we missed the kill in mid, but such a great turn for them, getting the shutdown onto Alex and getting 3 kills, the double for Oriana, really going to help them. M5 doing their best. They always seem to do this, even after disadvantages. As soon as the enemy goes back to buy, they will push an objective, getting the 4th turret of the game. But yeah, big time play by CLG. They're getting the 3 kills for 1.
So, a bunch of Oracles actually getting burnt out there by both teams. Genja may be out of position here. They have full vision. They know where he's going. Look at this. Chowster spotted him. He sees him, his own columns. Actually lands the Q on him as well. Could follow this one through. Does manage to go through on him. Hasn't used the kick and then backs away. Valkyrie burn. Is he going to come back across? No. Just avoids damage. Genja goes back. Picks up a whole chunk of CS.
It's a little strange there by Chowster. And M5 trying a Baron. They realize so many of them are bottom. CLG might not even sense this. This is a 2-man Baron. Rengar, one of the most effective Baron tanks, and Karth is one of the most effective Baron damagers. Never mind, Rengar's not there. That was Diamond Prox. I couldn't see him in the turret. They're just ripping that down with Rengar mid. They don't expect it. 22-minute 2-man Baron, they get it.
22-minute 2-man Baron. Alex Ich and Diamond Prox, just the combo of those tiny, tiny tears. And of course, Alex Ich doing a big chunk of it with Karthus. Darien now, and they've just seen it. They would have seen it. They pinged it, yeah. They said, holy moly, we have lost Baron. And Genja, they're trying to see if they can anything, gather anything. Oh, and Darien just leaps across again, but he's in a 2v1 situation. Shockwave used there by Big Fat LP. Rupture goes down towards Darien, but Darien is so tanky right now. They're giving up on it because Genja's now the target. Genja is putting a lot of pressure down on him. Could catch him out here. Valkyrie is available to him. There it is, just zips across the map and avoids all the damage. While this is happening, Alex is just pushing top.
Yeah, that was 5v3, and they were not able to close that effectively onto M5. They burned really their only catch in the Orianna ultimate on Darien, and he used his W heal and pretty much just ignored it. And oh no, here comes Genja with the Baron on a double lift. There's Crescendo.
Crescendo cleanse used out there by double lift. Here comes the Karthus Requiem and Loco Doco. Double lift goes down, so tries to go a huge Vengeful Explorer. Genja doesn't bother chasing it, but it doesn't matter. Requiem came down, Loco Doco dropped. It's another kill, another advantage for Moscow 5.
Loco Doco, story of this game for him, just getting destroyed by Crescendo. He just tried to throw up the ultimate onto double lift at the end of that. It was not to be. He's still level 9
yeah,
to a level 12 Gosu Pepper. Not the way it needs to work out. 0-4. Loco has the tendency of frontlining a bit for CLG. Sometimes it bites them a bit. He's usually having the most deaths on the team. It is just his support style, but in this game in particular, it is crushing them, as so many of those kills just fall on Alex, in all honesty, with those Requiems.
6-1 in turrets right now. 11,500 gold. 11,000, sorry. I can't count. 11,000 gold advantage. Moscow 5 now just taking everything away from CLG North America. And this could well be the last stand for the North American teams. They are just pushed in towards their base. There is no more turrets available for them on the outside. They are slowly but surely backing in there. Jat, this is not looking good for CLG, I gotta be honest.
America's last hope. This could be the second tournament in a row where they're the top placing North American team, but still nowhere near the finals, which will be unfortunate for them. Really backs against the wall. Just their inhibitor turrets coming up. Aura items have been completed onto M5. They got the Zeke's Herald, they have the Aegis of the Legion, and they have the split push power. Darien could honestly probably run away from the majority of CLG and would not care about it. Also, Alex can probably kill half of all of CLG if he just pops his ultimate at this point. So many advantages stacked up for M5. Early Baron buff, also extremely more powerful. Darien keeping that split push up with the side, keeping Hotshot occupied. What's the rest of their team going to do?
And you got to feel from a top 6 placing in this tournament is actually impressive. A fantastic, impressive result. You know, ahead of a Zubu Blaze, ahead of some of the other teams. Actually, it'd be on par with the Zubu Blaze, I think, maybe. I'm not too sure.
No, it's ahead of them.
It's ahead of a Zubu Blaze, isn't it? Yeah, so a top 6 placing in this tournament is a fantastic result. Yet, because it's such a stacked tournament, it is only top 6 placing.
It still might feel like a disappointment somehow, beating out a Zubu Blaze in a crazy tournament like this, and all the other North American teams on top of that. They might just dive Hotshot, this is trouble, or they're just going to beast down the turret.
They're just going to hit the turret. Now comes Alex H coming around now. Now they're going to dive him. Hotshot GG seems to be the focus of target. They haven't used any ultimates available yet, though. Alex just comes in. Now they're going to turn it. Alex trying to joust, trying to get on towards Alex there. Flashed out, ulti kicked on towards Darien. That's not the one you want. He are just going to back away. No, Darien leaps back in. Hotshot GG the target. There's going to be Curse of the Sad Mommy coming out. No, doesn't even use it. Alex picks up the kill. There it is. And there's the Requiem. There's the Crescendo. Multiple ultis all across the board. But it doesn't. Oh, the big bomb comes out as well. And that doesn't manage to get a kill. But Genja pushes through. It's going to be an inhibitor turret. It's going to be an inhibitor. It may even be the game, Jat.
And the Baron buff is off of them right now, but they do not care because they rip through CLG there. Genja and Gosu weren't even there until the end of the fight. They pretty much won that 3v5 in top of a turret. They're going to get the second inhibitor because the death timers on CLG are still quite a ways, and hell, they might go for a third because those minions are getting close. If CLG loses 3 inhibitors by 27 minutes, there's almost no way of coming back. Chester desperately trying to fight back.
Valkyrie there from Genja just to avoid any damage. A big stack of minions coming in. It is going to be the third inhibitor turret down. Oh, the banish toss from Loco Doco on towards the, nearly caught on towards the backside. Diamond Prox, of course, has used that Curse of Sad Mommy, but they are just going to back away. 3 inhibitors destroyed in a clean sweep from Moscow 5. That is how you use Baron.
They did everything they could have possibly wanted to do with that Baron, save ending the games. And Chester just running out. This is tricky.
This is tricky. He's had to use the little ultimate. He might be able to pick up some exit kills here. He does get one. That's going to be the kill down. Can he turn it into any more? Hotshot GG does manage to get the rupture on towards Alex. They turn it towards Genja. The feast comes out. The ignite is not going to be enough. Yes, it is. Double Lift got the kill there with the ignite down, I believe it was. No, tell a lie. It must have just been a single proc of damage. What would have killed him there?
Could have been a Mystic Shot. It could have been Arcane Shift. I don't quite missed it. Either way, he fell down after flashing the turret. It could have been an auto attack that followed him through the flash as well.
Yeah.
That's probably the most likely culprit. They did repel them out of the base, but they were leaving anyway, and they killed the 2, but they didn't capitalize off anything off it. They could maybe complete a few items. They have the death cap onto Big Fat LP, but 14,000 gold down with 6 super minions that are going to hit the base at exactly the same time. How much health do those have right now? 3,300 per super minion. There's just not the damage on CLG to clear these things out. They're taking the dragon. They're going to probably shop, pot up, make sure they are as powerful as possible, and just move into CLG's base, because I think they're going to be able to end it on that next push.
So you see the super minions trundling in. Big Fat LP will clear them out, but yeah, like you mentioned, you can see you have to put a lot of work involved in taking down those minions. Everyone across the board, and actually, it's funnily enough, speaking to Yellow Pete afterwards, we were saying, we need to stop farming, but he's like, I couldn't, because if I had stopped farming, they'd have just come straight into the base. We just had to keep on keeping them, hammering them down. And he was a very fed AD carry at that point. CLG are nowhere near that fed, nowhere near at this point. So Moscow 5 are just going to build up their advantages, gather up. They can see they're just clearing out every little bit of jungle, and they're just going to follow them in.
The 26,000 gold Kog'Maw that was in that earlier CLG WE game was barely keeping up with 3 super minion waves. Double Lift, how much gold does he have right now? Because he's not even completed the second item, 8,600. He's actually 2,000 gold behind, and his M5 seriously waiting to pick up the Baron buff before they finish off. They have a timer on it. They're just circled around. They know CLG is waiting. Boy, they're really ensuring this victory, because they could have probably went in with 3 waves of supers. This is going to make it all the more guaranteed.
Well, it does, of course, mean they will be playing tomorrow morning, Moscow 5, 10 a.m. It will be on stream too, I believe, as well. So, now, of course, the exact same time as the winner bracket final. God, I want to watch all these games. I really want to watch all these games. They're like finals.
You need like a 2-week tournament if you're going to do 16-team double limb seeded into a...
It's actually worse for us guys, because you guys at home, you can watch 2 streams at once, and you can see what's going on, see all the absolutely fantastic games, maybe even catch them out there.
Oh, here it comes.
5 diving in here. Hotshot GG's last stand is not going to be enough. He does manage to get the rupture, just runs back in and drops dead. Chowster dances a little bit there for Gosu Pepper. There's going to be Big Fat LP going down. It's Darian that manages to pick up that kill. It's a 2 for 0. Moscow 5 pushing their way in slowly but surely to take victory in IPL 5. They will move in towards the next round. Will it be CLG EU? Will it be Type A Assassins? We'll find out after this game. You can check it out on Stream 1. But the Nexus turret drops, and Moscow 5 beat CLG.NA.
And they came back hot after that first loss they took from CLG. Unfortunate exit for CLG. Both of these times, they had the first game against Fnatic, they had the first game against Moscow 5, and then they just could not close out these best of 3s. Still a great showing for them overall in this tournament. Very new roster still, only a month old, having Chowster in the jungle, Hotshot back to top, and Loco Doco joining their team as support. Moscow 5 gets to stay alive. There's a game probably going on Stream 1 right now between CLG EU and Taipei Assassins. Love to get an update on that very shortly, but you know what? This was a hell of a matchup. Moscow 5 really backs against the wall. So much more to go. They're really having to work their way through the group stage here, having lost in the best of 8 in the winners bracket thing. It's too hard to explain this giant tournament, but they lost a while ago, and they've been working up through the losers bracket.
What is for sure is that it has been an epic tournament and a fantastic day's gaming for League of Legends. What superb games we've seen. We've seen probably, I think it's safe to say, maybe the best game of League of Legends ever.
I think it was the best game
in terms of WE versus CLG EU. It was about a 70-minute epic back and forth action. If you missed it, check out the VODs. They will be going online at the IGN.com/IPL website. Lots of VODs going on there. There's so many games that have been happening throughout the day. But that is it for us here at IPL 5 tonight. It has been a very long day's casting for both of us. We will be back. It is in the morning, 10 a.m. That's when it starts. That's Pacific time. Figure it out in your own region, because the Reddit thread will be up there, the info thread. Thank you very much to Sally Panda for putting that up constantly as well. I am D-Man at QV D-Man. This is Jat at Riot Jat.
Yes, sir.
We have been bringing you a lot of League of Legends action today. We're going to go take a break. We'll be back tomorrow morning.